This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. This is a simple message as a thank you to Keisha. This is an Ubereats video which I'm doing repeatedly. And yesterday was my busiest day to date. I've advanced in my New Jersey gig where now my bike has a better seat and a higher seat post and I'm more comfortable. And in addition to that, Uber has established this market in an incredible fast period of time. So listeners, if you were to do this, to go back to my first Uber Eats video, you would find that I would spend a period of time like I did yesterday and get like 2 deliveries. And one of the greatest things about that was my first delivery would come with me sitting in my apartment. So this is great. Okay, it's not very active, but I'm sitting at home anyways, so I might as well sit at home online. So I picked up a couple of deliveries, got bored with it, and then I applied, passed a background check, got a new account in New York, and I did some deliveries there, had some problems there, which are also chronicled in this video series. So anyways, now I'm back in New Jersey, and it's very active. So as Uber competes with Postmates and DoorDash, and so many of these others, Uber just can dominate in ways these other companies can't. They have the driving network established, and they're leveraging it to just take immediate control of a market, even though they might be trailing into that market. And they've done that here in New Jersey, where I am. So why am I thanking Keisha? Keisha did a very simple thing. She put my code in when she registered, and now Uber tells me that she has completed the minimum deliveries. And I not only am not sure how many that is, but I think I'm not told how many that is. So in other words, I don't think I overlooked it. I think Uber doesn't tell me how many deliveries Keisha has. But whatever it is, it met the requirement of the recruitment, and so I get paid $10. Now, listeners, $10 sounds like a pitiful amount of money for me to be standing out celebrating this moment. That's exactly what I am doing. I am celebrating $10. There should be no mistake about this. This is a great moment for me, and that's the whole reason I came out here, is to explain why. So first of all, $10 for some people, because of where they are and when they registered, I don't really understand what Uber's calculations are behind the scenes, but one of the persons who used my code, I think it's Travis, is the most recent one, and I think if he meets 46 deliveries, I get paid $150. Wow, now that's better than 10, especially since I didn't work for the 10, and if Travis gets the 150, I won't do any work. Travis does the work, I don't. So either way, this could be a lot of money. Whether it's 150 or 10, it's the same mechanism. Now with Keisha, it's only 10, and that just, I can only say that has to do with the market she's in, and Uber's interest in accelerating that market is all calculated into these referral bonuses. And that's another thing I don't know about Keisha, is where she is. So these calculations I'm making, where Keisha is, where Travis is, Travis must be in a market that Uber is really trying to accelerate, so the bonus is higher. These are all my calculations based on the information I have, which admittedly is not a lot. So now I'm going to transition into, so in other words, that's one part of why is $10 a lot? Well, $10 because it's exactly the same thing. Travis, I don't do any additional work. Travis does 46 deliveries. I get paid $150. Well, $150 is an amount of money to celebrate. I'm just as happy. I'm celebrating just as big with the 10 as I will with the 150, and probably more so because it's my first. And this is what's a first for me. So I stand out here celebrating $10. This middle-aged man, is he desperate and pitiful? This is why this $10 is such a big deal to me. It is not the first dollar I've made, quote, on the internet, right? Everyone wants to make money on the internet, especially when you look at these people who have just knocked it out of the park and put themselves into the super wealthy of the world, including the most famous and first Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg is probably another big face of the internet. So this wealth and fame is attractive, though that idea that I will generate either is not unthought of, but certainly not. My history on the internet shows some activity, but I just don't have the, I'm not an entertainer. I'm not Bruno Mars. I'm not Jay-Z. So there are limits to how much I can do with fame on the internet. However, here's my history of earning money on the internet. First of all, I'm a former food scientist who had to climb up the corporate ladder and got myself to corporate level research scientist. And if you can, I'm not going to say that number, but if you can imagine, that's how much the highest salary I had. I crashed after that and have not made anywhere near that amount of money since. And, it sounds pessimistic to say it, but I probably will never earn that kind of money again. Probably will never earn that amount of money again. And so that's my pre-internet traditional earnings history. So here's the three categories of earning money on the internet that I want to highlight and also differentiate. First of all, I have two businesses with Indian partners. One has yet to make his first dollar, and the other has a year and a half of steady monthly income. Not a significant amount of money for me. However, this company has potential. We filed an extension on our tax returns. So the deadline of our first year of taxes has not come up yet. So the future of the company is still real tenuous, yet it show promise. So that's one category of money, and that was only made possible with the internet. But there's still something traditional about it. These are relationships that started with the internet, and then the relationships took over in a very traditional way. Through the help of the internet, I was able to earn some trust, and these people became comfortable with me. And now we're in business in the same way I would be in business with anyone who I had met in a traditional manner. So is it internet money or is it traditional business? Quite honestly, today it feels like it is a traditional business that is just supplemented by the internet. If these businesses go in a direction, the more optimistic version of where they go, certainly it will pay for me to go to India someday. It's a long way from doing that now, but if it does, someday I will go and I'll meet these people, and this idea that I'm making money on the internet, sure, it's only made possible because of the internet. However, it's traditional business. So that's one category. Category A. Category B is this thing I'm doing with Google. Now, it is true that I found how to manipulate Google My Business, and it is free, and my phone does ring because of what I've done on Google, and I'm able to make money from those phone calls. But again, it's internet, and it's not a lot of calls for free. If I wanted to accelerate it with money, then it becomes 100% traditional. I'm just using the internet to spend money to get phone calls that I then convert into DHL sales. So that is happening. It is because of the internet, but yet there is traditional business elements to it. It is advertising on Google. attracting people who need a specific service with the help of the internet, and then providing that service and getting paid for it. Now, the one that really highlights the element of the internet in this income is my partnership with Adam Strom, because he's in Arizona. There's absolutely no way I could do this in Arizona. Now, the two local ones that I have on Google, and those calls I generate and I send them to local business. It is conceivable that that would be done without the help of the internet, but Adam's business in Arizona, it would be impossible for me. So that is money that's made possible because of the internet. But again, there's a very traditional business element to it. That's category B. Category C is Keisha. Now, Keisha, unlike the Indians, hasn't stepped toward me in any way that she wants to have anything that resembles a traditional friendship. There's no evidence that it's a hookup attempt. Keisha is obviously a woman. And so Keisha and Travis and Mohammed and Christian, and there's 6 of them, and I think I didn't name them all, but Mohammed was the first, and Travis is the most recent. Keisha is in between. The other people the other 5 haven't made their minimum, so I am not being paid anything for them, although the potential is there. If they meet their minimum, I will get paid for their referral bonus. So anyways, Keisha, unlike the Indians, hasn't stepped forward. It has no indication that she will step forward into this idea that she wants to engage in any kind of traditional relationship. In other words, she has presented herself as someone who kind of wants to stay out there. How do I know that? Well, there's been opportunities. I'm certainly open to contact on the internet with strangers. That's abundantly obvious, just the way I present myself on the internet. And Keisha finds me. She finds my code, but doesn't write me on email, doesn't ping me on WhatsApp, send a text, make a phone call, nothing like that. Muhammad hasn't done that. Travis hasn't done that. Christian hasn't done that. So these people seem to want to kind of keep me out there. Yeah, we'll put your code in. You know, with all the other codes I could find on the internet, you can find 100 of them in an hour. It's no big deal. But these people have chosen my code. Make no question about it. I am personally flattered. I think it's absolutely awesome. So for some reason, these people have chosen me, and that's why this $10 is so important, because it's so meaningful to me, because Keisha seems to want to keep me out there. I mean, this is not only made possible by the internet, just like the DHL and just like my Indian businesses. Keisha doesn't show any effort to form a traditional chat, one-on-one conversation type relationship, and the others have the same. So in other words, it's kind of like, okay, I got to do something, link to you. I want enough from you that basically I feel like I'm already satisfying that relationship with Keisha. Why? Because I'm doing this recreational blogging like I'm doing now, and I continue to do it with or without Keisha, yet she says, okay, and by putting my code in, she essentially says, I like that. And by liking that, her name shows up in my list, and I have no additional obligations to Keisha. In other words, if I had 10,000 Keishas right now, I am still satisfying that relationship. Well, that to me feels more like an entertainer. That to me feels more like Bruno Mars, Eminem, Jay-Z, any of the musical stars. They kind of keep doing the same thing, and whether they're Lady Gaga, before she had the name Lady Gaga, singing in a music hall on the Manhattan's Lower East Side, which is a bar I've been to, and she performed there before she was Lady Gaga. She was, quote, nobody, talented young woman, but certainly not famous. she keeps doing the same thing. It's just playing to larger audiences. Michael Jackson was another example of this, of course. He went into global stardom that the world had never seen before. So nonetheless, that's kind of what I'm doing. And whether I have one Keisha or 10,000 Keishas, it's like I'm meeting my obligation for this relationship. Now, Keisha, if you're hearing this, and I would not welcome a ping because somehow that would expect more of me. The idea that I could reply to a comment and to Muhammad and anyone else considering putting in my code, Travis, Christian, Keisha, anyone else, I certainly welcome those contacts. But again, this is money on the internet. This is income that feels very much like an entertainer type. I can satisfy 1, 2, or 10,000, and really my efforts continue in this recreational blogging manner. So finally, in close, I came out here, and those of you who don't do any video blogging on your own, I don't think you can fully understand. But those of us who have no budget, no staff, and we're recreational bloggers, opt for the lazy option. So what does the lazy option look like? The lazy option looks like man's face, woman's face is over their webcam, and they're talking. All right, that is the lazy option. This is slightly less lazy. Now, I see some bloggers who don't seem to have a staff, don't seem to have budgets. They are amateur bloggers, recreational bloggers, and they do significant editing after the fact. And to me, I am impressed by it because I don't have the patience to do it. I have the technical ability to do it. I just don't have the patience to do it. And some of them do it brilliantly to really accelerate in the efficiency and effectiveness of their presentation. So this is my next step. This is middle-aged man is not hanging over a webcam. This is middle-aged man came out into his barrio, took the time to wire up a second device and stand out in the sunlight. This is my next step because I felt this was a significant moment. So again, category A, making money on the internet, my Indian businesses. It started on the internet because of the internet, but truly it's a traditional relationship entering into business. It just happens to be that these people are 10 time zones away. The second one is DHL. Again, Google provides the advertising mechanism for that, but again, I'm providing a service. I just happen to capture those people at a time of need because of Google. And third, this category that is truly different. Right now, it's just $10. It might turn into $150 with the next person who does it. And it might stall here. I can't tell. There's not much I can do but keep doing what I'm doing. So that's it. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American. I checked my webcam. That screen pulled down is a liquor store that is not yet open. That's Kiko's Liquors, and that's an indication how early I got to this. It's Monday morning, and my business is yet kind of quiet. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.